Good evening, I am Ansmane Sonyasi, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. 700 students are missing out on schooling at Latrikunda proper and annex schools due to community disagreement over land to build more classrooms. President Adama Barrow has praised the Medical Research Council, the Gambia, for its quality research and saving lives during the commemoration of MRC Gambia's 75th anniversary. The Gambia has won the country cuisine of the year prize at this year's West Africa Food Festival, WAFest, amongst other awards in Ghana. And following a press release by the Ministry of Trade that the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation has imported 139 containers of cooking oil, we engaged the corporation's managing director to find out how this development will contribute to price stability in our markets. And in sports news, the Gambia national football team coach Tom Sanford has released details of his 23-man squad for the Turkey training camp, where his side will play 2 friendlies. Stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. Those were the headlines, and now we take a look at the news in detail. 700 students are missing out on school at Latrikunda proper and annex schools due to community disagreement over land to build more classrooms to accommodate all the students. Lena E. Igwenyeva has the details.
This tranquil and beautiful community is divided between education and sporting activities. The school authorities and some community members are in favor of using part of the school football field to build more classrooms. Some youths and other community members are not in support of this idea. The argument is that there is no other recreational facility for the youths. This conflict is now depriving children of their fundamental right to education. The headmaster of Latrikunda Annex, Tijan Sise, explains.
What caused this thing was that we had a project from MRC Holland Foundation to build some classrooms for the 2 schools, proper and annex, so that we can be able to have more space and to decongest our classroom situations. So this project, was what was about to happen. So to my surprise, some of the boys, who are footballers, they went to get the backing of certain people in the community. I personally, I want to have more classrooms so that we can have more learning contact hours. So that, if it be, all the grades should even come in the morning.
Mohammed Mbaro, a teacher for grade 6 class, stresses that education is invaluable.
Let them allow to build the school. You cannot compare education with football. It's not possible. You cannot be a good footballer without education. So education is the key to success anywhere. So when there is no education in any community, the community is always at the back.
Tijan Sise states that they are willing to dialogue with those who disagree with the new classroom projects to reach an agreement.
We don't want to stop them permanently. There will be space where they will do their training and their warm-up, because I understand that some of them have these academies. We can still have a space to go in. But what is my concern now is that who is going to be responsible of the school's resources? I, as a member of this community, I will not close my eyes to see government resources being vandalized by people when I'm a custodian of this school. I will not accept that. This is my position, and this is why we have issues with them. We talk of allowing the play, and then we have agreement and whatever, but none of them come to me and say, okay, master, let's talk about this thing.
Lamin Yafa, the cluster monitor responsible for the Latrikunda Sabiji, representing the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, believes the issue should be solved at community level.
As a representative of the ministry in the school here, we see this problem as a community problem. So we want the community to sit down, discuss, and have an agreement so that they come to terms as to where the building can be built.
Mrs. Aissatou Diouf, headmistress for Latrikunda proper, explains how the classrooms are congested just to accommodate more students.
We have made a provision whereby we pack the kids in one room so that teaching and learning will go on.
Missing school negatively impacts academic achievements and significantly hinders the progress of school children. The parents of the students who are missing classes have agreed to contribute some money to fix desks and benches as a temporary solution to have children back in the classrooms. However, such an initiative is not sustainable and a longer-term solution will have to be found. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Igwenyiba.
Some more in development there. Now, the Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, is celebrating its 75th anniversary of health research and health services in the Gambia and the sub-region. Presiding over the 75th anniversary celebration, President Adama Barrow praised the MRC for its quality research that has saved and protected many lives in the Gambia and beyond. Mahmoud Lamin Choi reports.
MRC Unit, the Gambia, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, is commemorating its 75th anniversary of operating in the Gambia and their impactful health research that has protected and saved many lives in the Gambia and beyond. This commemoration is spearheaded by President Adama Barrow and attended by scientists, policymakers, students, and many dignitaries. Professor Umberto D'Alessandro is the MRCG Unit Director.
Outputs that have had and continue to have a major impact on human health across the world, including the Gambia. The information generated by the unit has been and is used by policymakers to guide their effort to control disease and improve health, human health across the world.
Since its establishment in the Gambia in 1947, MRC Unit the Gambia has evolved into a reputable institution for health research that has impacted many lives, with a particular focus on infectious disease of prime concern to the Gambia to reduce the burden of illness and death in the country and the rest of the developing world. Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate is the Gambia's Minister of Health.
MRC by itself sees over 50,000 patients annually at their clinical facilities in Fajara and Keneba, and we applaud them equally for that. That is complementing the efforts of government.
The Medical Research Council Unit the Gambia at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine is the UK's single largest investment in medical research in a developing country and hosts a unique concentration of scientific expertise and high-quality research platforms in the West Africa region. Professor Leon Smith is the director of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine.
But I remain enormously proud of the unit, its incredible scientific contributions, and the way it's built expertise, not just in the Gambia, but more widely in the region. I've especially noticed how trusted the unit is within the Gambia.
With over 7 decades of existence in the Gambia, which predates many health institutions, MRCG has served as an incubator for the capacity development of many scientists in the Gambia and other parts of Africa. Throughout this 75-year-long journey, the leading health research institution has worked collaboratively with government to deliver its targets. President Adama Barrow appreciates the impact of MRC's research on the health and lives of many Gambians and the world over.
I am reliably informed that MRC is the 4th largest employer in the country, with 1,600 staff from over 20 countries. Gambians representing more than 60% of the staff.
Research at the MRC unit in the Gambia includes clinical trials of several vaccines that have saved and protected many lives. From 75 years of impactful health research in the Gambia, MRCG has continued partnering with government to improve the capacity of Gambia's health system. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now, the Gambia has won the Country Cuisine of the Year prize at this year's West Africa Food Festival, WAFest, amongst other awards in Ghana. Jennifer Sonko was at the welcoming ceremony at the Gambia Hospitality Institute, where the winning team revealed it has not all been smooth sailing.
The team came home to a grand welcome at the Gambia Hospitality Institute in Kanifing. Accolades scooped by the Gambia team were for country cuisine, best coach and second best chef at the West Africa Food Festival. The West Africa Food Festival is an annual rotational event, and this year's WAFest brought together 8 West African countries plus 5 guest countries, including South Africa and Azerbaijan, to compete in culinary classes of 6 competition of African gastronomy. Gambia's Chef Bojang won Best Coach and is also the newly elected president of the West African Chefs Association, also the director of the African Chefs Alliance. Chef Bojang reflects on the journey.
I didn't doubt my team, for sure. And then in fact, I did one of the biggest sacrifices this year, meaning I have to withdraw my license as a judge to become a coach, to coach my team, because they're all young, and I had to lose my judging license that I worked so hard for. But it's paid off because I came out with something that I really, really wanted to come home, because I can never see myself coming home without a trophy. But this, I can just let the license just go and fly wherever it wants to go. I'm okay with it.
The Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute sent 2 representatives as part of the delegation. GTHI is the Gambia's main tourism and hospitality training school in the Gambia for the tourism sector. Peter Mendy is the head of Department for Research and Consultancy with GTHI.
Considering the young team that we took to Ghana, I think the team did very well, extremely very well. Yes, because they contested against very experienced and matured people. So great performance from them.
Chef Mam Silla, the youngest participant at the competition with only 8 months experience, won second best chef in West Africa. She says passion and talent were her driving forces.
Well, I feel very good because this is our first experience, and it was tough, really tough, but we really did great, and I'm proud of Gambia's team. As a young chefs, we really did well, yeah.
Chef Bojang calls on the Gambia Tourism Ministry to take a closer look at food tourism, as it can work well for the Gambia. Food tourism is the act of traveling for a taste of place to get a sense of that place. Bojang delves into the challenges of their work.
For instance, this year, the Ministry of Tourism, we went in to get a ticket. We needed to go and represent our country through tourism, this food tourism. We couldn't even get a ticket. I even engaged him to ask even if you can have Gambia flag, regalias. He said even anything to do with financial engagement, there's nothing they could offer to us. We even asked for a flag from the Ministry of Tourism. We couldn't get one. I have to buy a Gambian flag from private dealers.
The West Africa Food Festival will be held in the Gambia in 2024, where 200 chefs are expected to participate. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
And we're very much proud of the team for making us all proud in Ghana. And for the report by Jenna Bosonko, we take a short break. We'll be right back.
Bank from here and there and here too. Here and even here. Introducing the Bloom Digital Suite from Bloom Bank Africa. Web and mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go at your convenience and on your own terms. Check and transfer funds, pay NAWIC bills, buy cash power, buy mobile credit, and so much more. For more information, visit www.bloombankafrica.com or pass by any of our branches nationwide. Download from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Bloom Digital Web and Mobile Banking on the go from Bloom Bank Africa.
Cedric and Caroline came in to choose tiles for their brand new kitchen. Brown or beige? Brown. And why not a new mixture tap? A new sink too? Fine, a new sink too. And what about a lighting fixture? Shall we go for this one? See, you're finally on the same page.
I also wanted a new kitchen counter.
We got you, Caroline.
And yes, that's BettyReds, Betty Days. Take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 60% on several product families. From November 5th to 19th, you will.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Reminded you're following QTV News and we're broadcasting live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, following a press release by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment that the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation will import 139 containers of cooking oil to ensure that essential commodities are available, QTV engaged the corporation's Managing Director, Mohamed Njai, to find out how this development will contribute to price stability in our markets.
Global food insecurity, exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, worsening climate change and the Russia-Ukraine war, has forced governments around the globe to reassess their priorities to meet consumers' needs. So for the Barrow-led administration, the importation of oil is in response to the current global food and energy challenges and to mitigate the rising cost of essential food commodities. Mohamed Njai is the Managing Director of National Food Security, Processing and Marketing Corporation.
Globally, because of these challenges, the government of the Gambia deemed it fitting to work with my institution so that we can actually support the population in that regard. One area is food security. It's very, very important. And when you talk about food security, you talk about availability and affordability.
With the wholesale price of 20 liters of oil pegged at $1,695 and $495 for 5 liters, how does the average buyer benefit from this government intervention? Mohamed Njai again.
Distributors and the retailers have to show the same responsibility as we did. You know, because at the end of the day, it's about our own Gambian colleagues, our own Gambian family members. You know, so we are here to support, and they also have to look at it in that angle.
Is this the first time the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation has done this? And would the institution also consider rice importation?
Because we are in an emergency situation, we also have to support the government by importing for the gap. So we have initiated that process as well.
We also engaged the Managing Director on what is processed at the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation.
We are doing groundnut marketing and processing. So the groundnut, we process it into crude oil, and then the groundnut cake. The groundnut cake is mainly used for animal feed. And the crude oil, because it's crude and it's not refined, we have to export it. But we already did a feasibility study for the refinery plant. And then what we are looking at potential investors to partner with, because the level of investment is about $50 million.
Since it is harvest season for farmers, what is the projected price for a ton of groundnuts?
Yeah, we are yet to announce the price, but we have initiated consultations in that regard, because we had a meeting in Junoy where we engaged the stakeholders, which is the farming community, to discuss about the price and other issues. And basically the discussions around price was mainly to hear from them what their expectations are. So we had that meeting, so we have to go back to the authorities and then inform them of the outcome of that meeting.
Although the government has taken steps to mitigate the current global food and energy challenges and the rising cost of essential food commodities, many suggest that as rice is the staple food of the Gambia, bringing the price down will be more beneficial than doing that for oil. Suleiman Dabo for QTV News.
Now, the Kanifing General Hospital, in collaboration with a team of Spanish surgeons, have commenced 10 days free surgical operations for umbilical hernias in children aged under 16. Ajibintu Drame visited the hospital, and this is her report.
100 children are targeted to benefit from the free umbilical hernia operation. An umbilical hernia occurs when the part of the person's intestine bulges through the opening in their abdominal muscles near the belly button. Umbilical hernia are common and typically harmless, but are most common in infants, but they can affect adults as well. ASIDA and surgeons in action, both Spanish organizations and the neighborhood clinic in Serekunda, joined forces to share expertise and skills to improve the hospital's surgical rate. Basiru Drame, the CEO of Kanifing General Hospital, says the exercise is important as it will reduce the burden patients face. He adds that patients can wait for long periods to have operations, which sometimes never materialized.
The number of cases that we do here, especially on the surgical side, is the hernia actually outnumber most of the cases. So this is actually common in children and even the elderly people. After some time you detect that they actually have hernia. It could be umbilical hernia, it could be muscular hernia. So along the line, if those things are not operated, it can actually get into complications because it's actually going to strangulate. And once it's strangulated, if you don't act quickly, it can actually kill the person.
CEO Drame implores those affected to make best use of the opportunity.
Them coming to do this operation here is going to reduce kill significantly. At the same time, also going to avoid the complications on the people who are actually having the surgical issue. And again, that is also going to help us to pass the skills. It's going to be in a venue whereby there is going to exchange of ideas, and that the skills can be passed from the surgical team, international surgical team, to our people on the ground here.
The Kanifing General Hospital is the first to benefit from this project. Haruna S. Jallo from the Ministry of Health says plans are underway to further cement partnerships with the 300 members in the Spanish team.
They are not only stopping in coming to do the operations, because they also come with all their gears, operation materials, and then and almost all those materials after the operations are going to be left in the Gambia. So it's not only about change of expertise, but also the tools, the equipments, and then the drugs they are bringing here will stay here. So we want to make an impact to the average Gambians, and hopefully we will do our utmost best.
Ramatulai Sanyang, mother to a 7-year-old patient, expressed gratitude for the opportunity. I thank the surgeons because the operation is quick and it was not hard to get through the queue to have the operation. It only took a month since we started the process. We thank them for their service to people. I am imploring mothers whose children are suffering from umbilical hernia to come forward because the services are free. Let no one procrastinate. Our health is our future. Umbilical hernias can be treated with surgery to push the bulge back into place and strengthen the weakness in the abdominal wall. This operation is recommended for your child if the hernia is large or hasn't disappeared by the time they are 4 or 5 years old. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
And in a moment, we take a look at some exciting sports news. The Gambia national football team coach Tom Sanford has released details of his 23-man squad for the Turkey training camp, where his side will play 2 friendlies. Our sports reporter Mamoudou Gajaka takes a closer look at the list of players selected.
5 previously uncapped players have been invited by the coach. Yankuba Minte, a young player who recently broke into the first team of Obi Odense in the Danish Superliga, earns a first call-up due to his recent form. Swedish-born Jesper Ceesay, currently with AIK Salona in Sweden's top division, is another young player included in the squad for the first time. Other new additions are Ismail Ajom, a player for Portland Timbers in the MLS, Aliou Fadera, a former under-20 international, currently with Zulte Waregem in the Belgian top division, and Sekou Touré, a defensive midfielder who plays his club football for Grenoble in Ligue 2 in France. Hamza Barry makes his long-awaited comeback for the first time in more than 3 years, having returned to full fitness. Ibrahim Adabo, Steve Traoré, Ibu Adams, Modou Barrow, Alfousseni Diatta, Seydi Janko, Sirif Signan are all out injured, while Ibrahim Akoli misses out for personal reasons. Ibu Touré wasn't released by his club Salford City, which is owned by former Manchester United players Nicky Butt, Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville, Philip Neville and Paul Scholes. The club plays in England's 4th tier. Coach Tom Sanford, reacting to players invited for the training camp, said he is satisfied with the squad despite some absentees due to various reasons.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this camp. It is since June ago that I saw my players, that we had opportunity to be together. So this is very important for the March matches and to keep our chances alive to qualify for the second time in a row for the Africa Cup. I'm very happy to go to Turkey. It's a good opportunity, good infrastructure, good hotels and good weather circumstances. And we will play 2 games, what is also very good for me. That was one of my demands, at least to have 2 games to see the players in game situations. We miss some players. Several players are out with injuries, and some players are not released and had other problems. That's naturally sad, but it's another opportunity for new players to get their opportunity to prove themselves in national team duty. And I think we called up 5 players for the first time: Aliou Fidera, Yankuba Minte, Ismaila Jome, Sekou Touré and Jesper Cisse got their first senior call up, and probably they could make their debut in the national team, and all of them deserve this call up because they are performing very well on club level. But the majority of the team who is called up is playing frequently with their clubs and is performing well. So I think we have a decent squad, and I think we can use this opportunity to get everything ready for the March matches. So I'm a happy coach and look ahead to this training camp.
The Gambia will play 2 international friendly matches against the Democratic Republic of Congo on the 17th of November 2022 and Liberia on the 28th of November 2022. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
We're wishing the Scorpions all the best of luck in their 2 friendlies, and I'm afraid that's all about it for this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap of main headlines. 700 students are missing out on schooling at Latrikunda proper and annex schools due to community disagreement over land to build more classrooms. President Adama Barrow has praised the Medical Research Council, the Gambia, for its quality research and saving lives during the commemoration of MRC Gambia's 75th anniversary. The Gambia has won the Country Cuisine of the Year prize at this year's West Africa Food Festival, WAFEST, amongst other awards in Ghana. And following a press release by the Ministry of Trade that the National Food Security, Processing and Marketing Corporation has imported 139 containers of cooking oil, we engaged the corporation's Managing Director Mohamed Njai to find out how this development will contribute to price stability in our markets. And in sports news, the Gambia national football team coach Tom Sanfiet has released details of his 23-man squad for the Turkey training camp, where his side will play 2 friendlies. That's it for this edition of the news. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.